So this is a big week. This is a really big week for AEW. It's a big week for wrestling due to the network upfronts. One thing that was interesting is that WWE was almost completely non-existent in Fox's upfront presentations and USA Network's presentations, and I believe that's because um, I think either their contracts are about to be up, and or else they are exiting. I think right now they're exiting that time frame where those networks have exclusive rights to renegotiate. And so I think if they were locked in, I think they would have been part of the upfronts. The upfronts are very important to television. It's basically where you put your best foot forward to advertisers. Show advertisers what you've got, and pro wrestling is more important than ever right now. Sports and sports-related programming, which I think AEW and WWE are definitely a part of, are more important than ever to television right now because of the writers' strike. AEW doesn't have writers. WWE does, but they're not part of any of these guilds. Nobody is stopping them. Nobody's having to cross lines, picket lines to go to work. So these are shows that can be expanded. You know, if you look at CBS, two of their big reality shows that have been going for 20 years, Survivor and The Amazing Race, they've both been expanded to 90 minutes because these networks have time to fill and they don't know if new shows are going to get written, and they don't know how long this writer's strike is going to last. So we've already seen the responses to the strike in those going from 60 minutes to 90 minutes, and having 5 hours. Look, even if Rampage ratings aren't great, they're not terrible. You can look Showbuzz Daily every Friday and see they are not at the bottom of that list. There's 100. They show a top 150, and Rampage is there, and Rampage is in the mix. And right now, they're not getting new shows. It's either Rampage or rerun something old. And so AEW is very important to Warner Media. And I think the only big surprise, the only thing that's kind of in the air is, will this new deal, and they're announcing a new deal tomorrow. They're going to announce it at the upfronts. They're going to announce it, I'm sure, some version of it on AEW television, because this last week, of course, Tony Khan made a big announcement, announcing a big announcement. The big announcements this week, the announcement of the announcement was last week. We might have a post-announcement press conference to recap the announcement on Rampage or simply on Dynamite next week. Stay tuned to find out. Also, if you're enjoying this program, if you're not enjoying this program and you wish Kevin Ely was back from dengue fever, and I'm hoping he will be soon. For all I know, the man's lied to me. He's holding out. He's going to be a part of Fight Game Media's upfronts coming up tomorrow. Who knows? Nobody tells me anything. But if you'd like to experience more of Fight Game Media for just $5 a month, you can do that at patreon.com/Fight Game Media. You're going to get extra shows. You're going to get free shows that nobody else has access to. You're going to get to experience the Dynamite show. Just right after Dynamite goes off the air, they start recording it, and you're going to get that show recapping Dynamite that very night from Paul Fontaine, from Jeff Hawkins, good friends of us here at The Boom. Of course, also check out Fight Game Media's YouTube channel for a lot of original shows that air there first, including Power Bombshells, talking about Mel Gray completely powering this last week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Let me take a sip of my Diet Coke here. Hopefully they can be sponsors, Garrett. I hope you're in talks with Diet Coke as we speak. I don't know if you could hear that. If you could, my apologies. So the big part of the upfronts that I think we don't know. We know AEW is going to get a big boost in money. Word is it's going to be $1 billion. And I think whether that's over 4 years, over 5 years, they need to be able to say $1 billion. Just as part for selling ads, for boosting the company, for everything. They need to be able to say $1 billion. I think they're going to. A lot of people have said, some people thought just 125 million a year. I don't think that's it. I think it's 225 million. And I think it's going to include pay-per-views. I think there's a very good chance if it is that 225 to 245, it's going to include pay-per-views. Word is All In and All Out are going to air on Max. But the only question is, are we going to get a WWE Network style move onto Max for AEW? Will all the past shows be there? I really hope they're going to be there because Kevin Ely and I would love to do some kind of watch parties with y'all. Schedule out, hey, we're gonna watch the Brody Lee episode of Dynamite a certain night at a certain time, and everyone can meet us here. We can meet on YouTube. We can watch it together, talk about it. I think that would be I'd really like the opportunity to do that, and I think we're going to get it. But that's just speculation on my part. Who knows? But we're going to find that out tomorrow. And again, if we get that, if they do announce that, when are we going to get it? Is that going to start in 2024? Is that going to start in a couple of months? 2024 is not that far away. We're halfway through 2023. But getting those pay-per-views for me for free, because I get HBO Max through AT&T with my cell phone plan for free every month. That would be fantastic. But more than anything, more than saving the money, because I pay for AEW pay-per-views, I watch a lot of things semi-legally, but I care about AEW. I want AEW to be successful. I give them my money, every 3 months. But the big thing is that Bleacher Report is hot garbage. Everyone hates Bleacher Report. Everybody loves the Acclaimed. Everybody hates Bleacher Report. I was talking to a friend today, and we were saying, like, Bleacher Report doesn't fuck you every time, but on a long enough timeline, Bleacher Report is always going to fuck you. Bleacher Report is, again, there are pay-per-views I've seen people pay $50 for. They have to watch it on their phone. They can't make it work on their TV, can't make it work on their computer. I've been there once. Only once did they really get me like that. Dave Meltzer has famously experienced this. So to get the pay-per-views off of Bleacher Report, again, even if you've still got to pay the $50, hopefully not. It's a blessing. It's a beautiful thing if Tony Khan can make this happen. Really want to know what you guys are looking for out of this deal. I would love to know. Love for y'all to hit me up on Twitter. I'm, of course, at Peppermint Fatty. Let me know what kind of money you think they're going to be getting. Some people that watch this show, I've talked to, and they're kind of have some insights into the negotiations, and have kind of given me a little information up until now as to, like, these are the numbers being thrown around in the process. And I hadn't heard anything over 200 million, but I do think it's going to be 200 million a year minimum. And I think that's going to allow AEW to sign some people that maybe they haven't had the money to sign just yet. I think there's been some major free agents out there. And for American TV, Mercedes Moné and Kota Ibushi, I think, are two. And I think both would be incredibly expensive. I think Mercedes Moné moves money. She absolutely puts butts in seats, would sell pay-per-views. And I think AEW should 100% sign her, no matter how big a bank they've got to break, what kind of Brinks truck they've got to back up. And this will give them that money. This will give them that freedom to do this safely without overextending. And I'm really, really excited about that.